This is about defending democracy. This is no longer Democrats versus Republicans. What do you want your kids to believe in? There must be give and take.
This is White Flag with Joe Walsh.
It's not surprising that Nikki Haley yesterday endorsed Donald Trump. It's not surprising at all. She wants to remain a Republican. She wants a career as a Republican. I've said this a whole bunch before, and I'll say it again. If you are a Republican or a conservative and you publicly oppose Donald Trump, you end your career as a Republican. You got that? I mean that. You end your career. When I came out against Donald Trump 5.5, 6 years ago, I knew when I did that, I was ending my career as a Republican. That's a tough thing. It's a tough thing to do. When Liz Cheney publicly came out against Donald Trump, she ended her career as a Republican. When my friend Adam Kinzinger publicly came out against Donald Trump, he ended his career as a Republican. It's a tough thing to do. It really is. I had been a Republican my whole life. I'd been elected as a Republican. I could have gotten elected again as a Republican. Liz Cheney, Adam Kinzinger, they could be in Congress right now as Republicans. It's not easy to walk away from that. And that's why damn near every Republican in the past 8 years has done what Nikki Haley just did. It's too tough. It's too hard to walk away from. Don't complicate what Nikki Haley did yesterday, endorsing Donald Trump. Don't nuance it. Don't complicate it. It's really simple. Nikki Haley believes that Donald Trump is unfit to be president. She believes that. Nikki Haley believes that Donald Trump should never, ever, ever be in the White House again. Nikki Haley believes that. But if Nikki Haley said any of that publicly, she's done as a Republican. So, Nikki Haley yesterday decided to not be truthful, to not say what she believed. Why? So that she could keep her career as a Republican. That's it. No one should be surprised. No one should find it unbelievable. It should make perfect sense to everyone. Disappointing? Sure. Pathetic? Sure. But again, look at the lay of the land of the last 8 years. Thousands and thousands of Republican elected officials. How many did the right thing and stood up publicly against Trump? A handful. That's all. When I came out publicly against Trump 6 years ago, my God, I had so many of my former congressional colleagues, right-wing media colleagues, call me privately and tell me privately that they agree with everything I'm saying about Donald Trump, but they can't and won't say it publicly. I understood. I'd call them out, but I understood. I'd call them out privately, but I understood. They saw what happened to me. They've seen what's happened to Cheney and Kinzinger. Nikki Haley didn't want that. Look, I've always said this, and I believe this. 2 other quick points. Donald Trump is a lawless, un-American psychopath. Most Republican elected officials don't want him to be president, and most know he's unfit. but pretty much all of them stand by him. I've always said that this cultish behavior among these Republican elected officials is uber pronounced among Republicans. I think we'd see the same thing among Democrats, but not nearly to the same degree. If we had a lawless, un-American psychopath who was the leader of the Democratic Party, I guarantee that most Democrats would stand by him or her, but not damn near all of them. More Democrats would stand up publicly against their cult leader if he were a lawless, un-American psychopath. More Democrats would stand up against that cult leader. But Democrats, don't fool yourself, most Democrat elected officials would stand by their cult leader, even if they knew he was unfit. But not to the degree at all that Republicans have embraced an authoritarian cultish leader. Final point, political point. All these Nikki Haley voters in these primaries, they weren't and they aren't pro-Nikki. They're anti-Trump. The 15, 20, 25% of voters voting for Nikki Haley in every primary, these are not pro-Nikki voters. They're never Trumpers. They're anti-Trump. What does that mean? That means they're still very gettable for Joe Biden. They're still out there for the taking for Joe Biden. But damn it, man, Joe Biden's got to go get them. Team Biden has to go get them. Nikki Haley comes out yesterday and endorses Trump. They're not all going to fall in line and follow Nikki. They weren't pro-Nikki to begin with. They can't stand Trump. But if Biden doesn't make an effort to get them, many, maybe most, will fall back in line and support Trump. So go get them, Joe Biden. Publicly. Go get them. This election's going to be damn close. Every little bit helps. I'm Joe Walsh. Thanks for listening. White Flag with Joe Walsh. That's the podcast. We're going to be changing the name of the podcast soon. Bunch of big changes coming up real soon. My email, joewalshwhiteflag@gmail.com. All one word, joewalshwhiteflag@gmail.com. Be brave.
Thank you for listening. Remember to listen, share, and follow White Flag with Joe Walsh on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and everywhere great podcasts are found. And be sure to leave a 5-star review. This has been White Flag with Joe Walsh.